Hey, Mayor. Would you like to save time and move some of these, not Kevin, to the top?
Good evening. Welcome to the August 14th Lebanon Board of Works meeting. Our first order of business will be Pledge Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, move on to the roll call members. Madam Clerk, call roll, please.
Mayor Gentry.
Here.
Becky McClure.
Present.
Bill Stoner.
Present.
Dick Robertson.
Present.
Alan Milburn.
Present.
Thank you.
Okay, move on to the approval of minutes from our previous meeting. Are there any changes to the minutes? Would entertain a motion to approve?
I make a motion, we approve the minutes.
Motion approved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Dick. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Those minutes are approved. Dick, so you want to take some of the agenda out of order?
I was going to suggest when we get down to new business there that you move all those up that are not Kevin, and that way when Kevin gets up, he can just stay there.
So,
Save a little time.
do I have consent to take, from the board to take the agenda out of order? Consent? Okay. First item up then, I will do the street closure request from the Lebanon High School homecoming, for the Lebanon High School homecoming parade. So if you guys want to come forward.
Good afternoon. My name is Addie Hand, and I'm our student body president.
I'm Audrey Patterson, and I'm the student council secretary.
And would you guys like the copies of the parade route? Or
If you actually just put it right there on that little overhead, it'll like
Oh,
put
okay.
it up on the screen for everybody.
All right, so right here?
Yep.
Okay. So that is the parade route for this year. It's the same as last year. And the rolling street closure, we would be leaving the high school like around 4:30, and then the parade actually starts at 5. So it'll only last about 45 minutes to an hour. So,
And what's the date for it?
September 29th. It's a Friday night.
Rolling closure. Okay. Any questions from the board on the homecoming parade through the park and then down North Meridian Street and then Tiger Way for a little bit?
I got one question.
Go, Dick.
One question. Are you going to have floats in this parade?
Yes. We, this year we are extending it. In the previous years, we've had the 4 class councils, and then usually the girls soccer team does a float. But this year we're going to extend it and open it to all clubs and sports teams in the school. So hopefully it can be a little bit longer than it has been in the past.
My question and comment, okay, is that when you're coming up Ulen Drive and you're going to make that turn into the East Street entrance to the park, that's a pretty sharp turn. And I just, is that the easiest route to go? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it definitely is a sharp turn, but our administrators picked out the route for us, so I'm not really sure. But we did it last year, and I think the route has been the same for a couple years in a row.
for a long
Okay, all right. If you've already done it, then okay.
Yeah, that's the route they normally take, so.
Okay.
It's on them to get their float, to make sure float can make it work, so. Okay, any other questions? The student council? Okay. I would entertain a motion then to approve the homecoming parade route closure request.
Move to approve the street closure request for the Lebanon High School homecoming parade as presented.
We have a motion? Is there a second? Second from Bill?
What's the date?
September 29th.
September 29th.
Motion and second for discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That is approved. Thank you, ladies, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have fun. Okay, did you want to do the retirement as well of the canine dog, Dick? Yeah,
Sure.
we're going to retire, we have a, tonight we're going to retire our canine officer, Anya, after, actually, I'll let Deputy Chief take it over and go from there.
Hello. So this is Anya. She started her career in 2017 with LPD. She's a 7-year-old Dutch Shepherd, and after obtaining her full patrol certification from the North American Police Work Dog Association in 2017, she carried that distinction throughout her career. She's been certified in obedience, narcotics, location, evidence location, tracking, apprehension, and building search. Anya's been involved in countless narcotic cases. She's worked with the drug task force when needed. She's assisted in building probable cause for search warrants and narcotic search warrants, and assisted with community corrections on home visits. And finally, she has showed off her skills at countless demonstrations throughout the community. She loves people and especially enjoyed the love she received from kids during the DARE programs. She was always their biggest hit at the ceremonies. And so she's served us well, and we hate to see her retire.
How old was she again?
7?
7?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, are you shaking her hand?
I was going to say.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to.
Do you want to say anything about
Yeah.
your friend?
Tom?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't prepare anything, but she's been a big part of our lives and a big part of my career. So, those of you that know me know that I've been a canine handler almost my entire career. So this is going to be a big change for me, and we'll work through it, I guess.
She's going to help with that, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, Anya, let's see if we can do the practices. We have shade? We have to a grateful city? No? Shade. All right, thank you very much.
Hey, there we go. All right.
Very good. We have it on here as retirement, but also she is also considered property under the state, so we do need a declaration of surplus to let Anya head off in her retirement. So with that, we'll entertain a motion to retire / surplus Anya.
So move.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second, Bill. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. Thank you, Anya, and Tommy, good luck on your next adventure as well, too. So. All right. All right, with that, we'll go back to return to regular business. We'll move back to department head reports. First up will be police department. Shouldn't have sat down. Deputy Chief Dixon.
Okay, hello again. So between the last meeting of July 24th and today, we've had 996 calls for service and a total of 33 arrests. There have been 6 operating while intoxicated, 7 wanted on a warrant. There have been 11 drug-related arrests, 1 public intoxication, 1 intimidation with a deadly weapon, 4 driving while suspended, and 3 domestic batteries. During that same time frame, Lebanon took 53 crash reports. A total of 2 handgun carry licenses were sent to the state. On August 1st, Austin McCloskey was recognized as a traffic safety all-star. He went, Officer Carlson sent his, for like the OWIs and stuff, sent his information in, and so he was selected to go. He had over 60 OWI arrests in 22. He got the same award last year, and he had 56 arrests, and he was the most in the Indiana Criminal Justice Institute for the West Central region. So he surpassed that and did another, passed that up and did another, 60 this year. Then Officer Tyler Winings completed the Moving Surveillance School for Investigators in Carmel. The training focused on surface streets, highways, stationary setups and apartments, complexes, residential neighborhoods, various business settings and parking lots and locations for surveillance. Sergeant James Kuntz and Austin McCloskey began the annual recertification for this field sobriety training. So over the next several weeks, they will be conducting training sessions on all the shifts to get everybody in. And then Jason Morgan, our firearms instructor, conducted Pistol 101 training with our new hires, David Bell, Kevin Elliott, and Brianna Deckard. So they're currently working shifts in their field training office.
Yeah. Thank you, Deputy Chief. Any questions for Amy? Questions from the public? Yeah, thank you, ma'am. All right, next will be Fire Department, Chief Batts.
Good evening, everyone. Since the last Board of Public Works and Safety meeting, Lebanon Fire has made 162 emergency calls for service, logged 460 training hours, completed 9 commercial pre-plans, finalized 93 commercial inspections, participated in 1 TAC meeting, held 1 CPR certification course, and assisted with 2 public education events. On Friday, August 4th, Katie Pelican, Spencer Gully, Tyler Rigdon, and Josh Messersmith graduated from the Northside Fire Academy and are now probationary firefighters. They started on shift the week of August 7th. On Monday, August 7th, LFD recruits Rafe Crow, Chelsea Moore, and Kurt Keller started in the Noblesville Fire Academy. Lieutenant Sam Doherty has been detailed to that academy, and they will graduate in March. Lieutenant Sam Doherty attended the Firefighter Symposium Into the Job in Wichita, Kansas from August 11th through the 13th. Then finally, last Saturday, LFD participated in the Boone County Battle of the Barbecue. The total funds raised was $99,800, getting that out correctly, and that was a record. So it was a really great event and nice evening.
Awesome. Very
That's
good.
all I have.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions for Chief from the board? Anything for the public? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Next will be Parks and Recreation. John Messenger.
Good evening. Our mother-son pool party was held this past Friday and was a huge hit. We saw our largest crowd and had amazing weather. Moms and son enjoyed a night of swimming, dinner, and a duck race. We hope everyone enjoyed their time and look forward to next year. The Fall Pickle League will begin next Thursday, the 24th. We have 10 teams registered and look forward to a fun season. Games will be played on Thursday evenings at 6 p.m. Our 2023 Daddy-Daughter Dance is now open for registration. It'll be held on Saturday, August 28th from 6 to 8:30 on Seashore Water Park pool deck. Cost is $20 per couple and $5 per additional child. This year's theme is mermaid, and we will have 2 life mermaids on site. Tickets can be purchased ahead of time online or giving our office a call. They'll also be sold at the door. Can't wait to see everybody there. As Chuck was saying, the 2023 Battle of the Barbecue was held this past Saturday. Not only do we have some of the most beautiful parks in the state, in the world, in the country, everywhere, but it was definitely the best smelling parks around last Saturday. Anyway, had a lot of nice contestants. Everybody did well. This event raised a bunch of money, as he said, almost $100,000. And it all stays here in Boone County at the Cancer Society. Want to thank all the volunteers and everybody that was involved in everything that went on there. Memorial Park has been the home for that event for every year, and we sure do enjoy helping out the crew. Our maintenance department has removed several trees in the past couple weeks throughout the parks and the Big Four Trail. A couple of benches have been removed from downtown to be sandblasted and powder coated. They got marked up, so we're repairing that. We do that about every year, and they will be reinstalled after finishing that. We're doing a lot of grading and seeding work taking place at the Conservation Pond. And the basketball lights, in case anybody asks, are currently down. Somebody's, unfortunately, the buttons were vandalized, so as soon as we get those parts in, we'll get those back up and going. Thank goodness it's not the pickleball, because those have been used every night. Tanya will attest to that. Man, there were, yeah, I was going to say, all the courts were full Sunday night, and they were all teens. It was pretty cool. All sports fields have been fertilized prior to the rains. Look great right now. We sprayed all the cracks and crevices around the square downtown to keep the weeds away. And we also installed ballards. They were installed last week at the Big Four Trail, Northeast Street, over off Hendricks Drive, Conservation. There's a lot of people that are driving on the Big Four Trail, and we're trying to deter them as much as possible. We put signage. They don't tend to pay attention to signage, and we're just trying to make it a little more difficult for them to get their vehicles and things on. Hopefully that'll help out. Had quite a few people irritated with it, along with myself, but we're trying to do the best we can to resolve that issue. We also had a 5K Saturday morning, that big turnout for that, and you're not alone. was a really nice turnout. So we had all in all, had a great day with a little bad weather in the morning, but beautiful at the end of the day. If anybody went by the park, you saw the incredible amount of people. Hopefully you got some good barbecue out of the deal too. So that's all I had.
Thank you, John. Any questions for John from the board?
Just a correction.
Uh-oh.
The daddy-daughter dance is August 26th,
What
Saturday.
did I say, the
28th.
Yes,
It's
you're
fine.
right.
Just,
Yeah.
if anybody's listening.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Anything for the public? Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, next will be Engineering Department, Kevin Kulik.
Thank you. Good evening. Engineering report for tonight. Talk a little bit about the courthouse square. We completed the sidewalk removal and replacement to repair some trip hazards that had developed in the last couple of weeks. There was also some asphalt work at the southeast corner of Main and Meridian to try to correct a poorly draining area there. Unfortunately, that patch was unsuccessful and it has been rejected, and the contractor is going to have to make a second attempt. Elevation shots prove that it can work. We just need a little more precision with that work, and like I said, they're willingly going to be redoing that. So I'll let you know as that schedule develops. We're also looking at, on that corner, there's kind of a crosswalk there that you might know or might have noticed your shoes get a little wet when you're crossing in the rain there, and we're going to be adding a trench drain there in the pavers to correct some of the drainage on that corner. So that's a problem that's developed over the last couple of years as we finish the project downtown, and we're just trying to correct those issues and move that forward. Other projects around the city, pavement resurfacing, we're really working on the Riley Road widening project right now. We've got 4 parcels that we're working on acquiring. 3 have been completed, or, well, 2 have. 1 will go out with this round of claims approved later tonight, hopefully. And then we have 1 that is still pending. But as soon as we get that 4th one closed, we're working on the conflicts with Vectron Energy, or excuse me, Centerpoint Energy, and be moving that to bidding and hopefully widening this fall or in the spring. Also in the spring, we'll be looking at our 2024 resurfacing program as the 2024 Community Crossing Round 1 grant application cycle opens up in January. Elmwood Bridge, we're all done there except for the final closeout with NDOT, working on that closeout paperwork with them to put that project to rest. On the Whit Road Bridge, we have a couple of final closeout change orders that are prepared and ready for your consideration later in the meeting, and then we'll be going through the same process with the state to close out those grant documents in the coming weeks. Also on Whit Road, remember the reconstruction of Whit Road from Lafayette Avenue to just north of Austin Drive. Stage 1 plans were delivered to us on 7/26. Those are under review. I mentioned at the last meeting we're working on a small expansion of our environmental scope just to make sure we can make a full pedestrian connection down to Marley Lane and really connect that project into the surrounding neighborhoods and ultimately down to Harney Elementary. That right-of-way expansion was approved, and that did add 1 additional right-of-way parcel to our project, but that's a relatively minor expense in the grand scheme of things. Our next major milestone for that project would be preliminary field check plans associated with utility relocations, and that's not scheduled till the end of October. On our Grant Street project, lots going on, lots happened in the last couple of weeks there. I'm happy to report that we finally have the intersection of Washington and Williams open. It opened up on August 2nd. We quickly then jumped over to Ann Street to make some repairs and some water tie-ins. This is not a project that was originally part of the overall scope, but we felt the opportunity was there to correct some and replace some old and aging water infrastructure. And so that was tied in and moved out of the intersection of Ann by the morning of August 3rd so that we could open that road for school. I really want to thank the crew from Reith Riley from working till probably about 11 o'clock that night to get that water tie-in out of the way so that we could be ready for school in the morning. Still working in that area, but that intersection remains open to traffic. And then over on the main line, phases 2, the east half of the road, that asphalt and binder placement went down on August 2nd, got completed. We're still working on the east side with the sump laterals, conduits for future lighting, parking space construction, driveway approaches. Once we get those a little further along, we'll be switching over and putting traffic on that new pavement while we demo the west side, or what we would call Phase 3. That switch should happen towards the end of the month. But throughout this whole time period of Phases 2 and 3, the traffic will remain open one way to the north. Grant Street Phase 2 is also out there. NDOT has notified us that there's some issues, I guess, with coordination with the MPO, which I know we're not in the MPO, but they control the TIP and STIP project listings with the state, and somehow there was a snafu that removed our project from that listing. So we're working on getting that corrected, and until we get that corrected, we had to pause our right-of-way buying activities. But that, I'm told, will be corrected this week, and we'll keep everybody posted. But that shouldn't result in any delays in the final construction project, which is not scheduled for construction until 2026. Fordyce Street is still out there, continuing to coordinate with the school for 2024 construction. We'll also be talking about that in budget hearings as we go into that process this week. The Big Four Trail, the rule section is complete. All punch list items have been repaired. In fact, we have Derek Warren is conducting our walkthrough with the state tomorrow to look at the entire project and begin to close that out. John mentioned this before, but bollards were also installed on the Big Four Trail at Abner Longley Park. And I'm told that we should expect the county-wide trail mile marking signage to be installed this week, or start being installed this week. Other active living programs, our cost share program, our sidewalk replacement program is now complete for the year. We completed 18 applications this year, but that does expend almost all of our funding for 2023, and we'll close out the project till next spring. There's also a citywide wayfinding signage program through Active Living that will also start construction once the trail mile marker signage is also complete. The bike park, main updates there. I think at the last meeting I mentioned to you that we did have our IDEM approvals in place now, so we are moving forward. And I wanted to talk a little bit about project delivery. Originally, this body and the Parks Department, the Parks Board had approved using a construction manager method to deliver that project. One of the things that's recently happened, though, with the hiring of Savannah Soldier in the Planning and Engineering Department as a project manager, that gives us the ability to try to manage more of that project in-house. So later tonight, we'll be requesting approval for a different project delivery method, which is more of a traditional design, bid, build project delivery method, where we will be releasing construction packages for the parking lot and the trail packages. Really, with the hiring of Savannah to help manage those things, that frees up our ability to not have to pay the markups that a construction manager might charge. And so we think we can manage that in-house, basically acting as our own construction manager. And so that will be a request later this evening to start issuing those bid packages. And that should put us on a schedule where we're opening bid packages in early September and ready to put contracts in place at the end of September going into October. Let's see, other projects, got a brief update on the regional detention facility. Christopher Burke is continuing to work with the railroad company on that culvert placement. There's some ongoing coordination there regarding the materials and clearances underneath the railroad that are requiring some minor design changes, but we're working through those issues. I also want to point out that today we actually finally closed on the Ken's Food land purchase in that area, so that is now closed. I want to thank Rob and his partner Tim Schuster for all the work on that. There was a lot of work put involved into getting us over that finish line. Was much more complicated than we would have liked it to have been, but that's why you have good attorneys to help you through those things. So we'll be, that will tee us up to start looking at the next phase of regional detention construction. I'd like to say next spring, but we were a long way from being able to put that package on the street, but we'll keep everybody posted. Elizaville Road drainage programs, we've had all that storm sewer preliminary design and staked. We've met with 6 of the 9 affected neighbors out there. So far, all 6 are cooperative at this point. We've got a couple more to meet with that are really more, have more minor involvement in the project, but we do have to get onto their property, so we're asking for easements there. But so far, they've all been very cooperative, and we're hoping that we'll be ready to issue a bid package yet this fall for that construction. Leap District, let's talk about road improvements at Leap District. Will be a couple of these items later on in the agenda, but the Leap team is getting ready to start road reconstruction projects. In fact, we're expected to start construction on the North Witt Road section. Remind you, these are county road sections, but County Road 150 West or Witt Road North, from 450 north to about a quarter of a mile north of 500. That is nearing final approvals through the county, and again, expects to be under construction next week. While we are talking about that, we're going to go ahead on the agenda later tonight, go ahead and approve the road closures for some of that reconstruction on 375 North and 450 North, the segments that are within city limits, as those will be coming up later in the year. Then jumping in last but not least through the inspection report since the last meeting, there's been 27 SWIP inspections. It's been raining a lot, so it's requiring a lot more SWIP inspections. Probably one of the wettest Augusts I think I've ever remembered. Responded to 4 complaints, 5 right-of-way permits, and had 1 minor illicit discharge inspection that had to be done as well. A lot going on there with construction between the rains, but you can look further at the details of all the project status reports from Scott Calvert. If there's not anything else, I'll close out my report.
Thank you, Kevin. Any questions for Kevin from the board? Public? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next will be Planning Department. Ben Bontrager.
Good evening, board members. Planning Department, as you can imagine, continues to remain busy during construction season, and this was a 3-week time period, but we did complete 159 building inspections, so we're still averaging over 50 a week, so very strong activity on the construction side, and then 100 additional permits were issued, and that does include 8 new single-family permits, and then also we did issue 7 permits in Belcanto's development that's part of the Fieldhouse project. So that was 7 building permits for 72 units, so that's, I think, about half or a third of the total number of units that are on there. So a lot of activity, and you can see there's still 39 roofing permits, so that hailstorm that we had earlier this year did a lot of damage. We're issuing about 20 or 30 roofing permits every 2 weeks, so a lot of activity there on the construction side. Kevin did already mention it, but I did put in my report, we did, the Planning Department did recently hire Savannah Soldier to fill our newly created role of Assistant Planner Project Manager to help take some of the projects and things off of Kevin and I. She'll be assisting with reviewing development projects and then also managing some of the special projects like Kevin mentioned. And then also some planning projects as well, like our UDO update, trying to get that to the finish line here in the next few months, and then starting comprehensive plan updates and other things like that. So she's going to be helping out a lot with the logistics of getting some of these special projects through the process. So looking forward to having her help us with that, and excited for her hiring. On the code enforcement side, again, a lot of activity going on. Again, I know it's a 3-week time period since the last meeting, but a lot of activity. There's 128 different total investigation activities, ranging from sending out notices, email communications, and inspections. A lot of inspections over the last few weeks. And then we also did have 27 new cases that have come up, primarily weeds and grass. So we're addressing those in a timely fashion. And that's all I have for this evening. Be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Ben. Any questions for Ben from the board? From the public? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next, we'll Street and Stormwater Department. Dave's covering tonight, so Kevin's covering for him.
Yep, thank you very much. Covering for Dave tonight. This is Brush Week. Remind everybody, this is when the street department will be out picking up brush from various storm damage and other issues at the curbside. So that is all this week. And just remind everyone, the next Brush Week would be the week of September 11th. and then following that, the week of October 16th. But other than brush this week is the main focus, the street department still remains busy mowing easements and some of the vacant properties, filling potholes, cleaning of easements, and obviously with the rains, there's a lot of work to keep all the drains free of debris. Update on the new street department garage. Furniture is being put together, running fiber lines for service in the building, and striping the parking lot. And we're getting ready to schedule our final walkthrough of that building and hopefully be moving our street and stormwater departments into that new facility here shortly in the coming weeks. That's all I have for Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. Any questions? Remember Kevin's filling in? No? Okay. Public? Sir? All right, and last but not least, Communications and Community Development, Joe LePage.
Hey everyone, starting off with some good news, a lot of good news here, but the Kent Street mural is now complete. That was the Van Gogh style mural done by artist Anita Gordon, so many thanks to her. Highly recommend when the weather's nicer, of course, heading down that way and attempting to find all 29 of the tiger paws that are within that mural. And so appreciate her diligence in doing that and being able to work within the street as it's closed. Later on this week, actually Thursday, August 17th at 10 a.m. at the Lebanon Public Library, we'll get started our discussion locally for Eclipse 2024 here in Lebanon. That eclipse again taking place on April 8th of 2024. There was a path of totality here in Lebanon, and so it's going to be a major event. A lot of visitors, a lot of hotel rooms already being booked up. Things are happening downtown, also community-wide. Going to be able to meet as a group. A number of different area organizations are going to meet at the library to talk about how we can work together as a community, harnessing all the great things that are going to be coming in here. We even kicked around the idea of an eclipse-themed mural on one of our vacant spaces to be able to kind of commemorate that event, that once-in-a-lifetime, quite literally event that will be taking place again on April 8th, 2024. The get-together, which is of course open to the public, top floor of the Lebanon Public Library on Thursday, August 17th. After taking a bit of some time off for the summer, the Love and Lebanon podcasts are back. Wherever you get your podcast, it might be a Google Play if you have a Samsung device, or iTunes if you've got the Apple phone, the iPhone. You can get those at very different platforms. iHeart and Spotify, all those places have the Love and Lebanon podcast. They come out every Tuesday morning, and so coming up tomorrow you'll be hearing from the Boys and Girls Club, and then later on there's Americana, the Lebanon Grill is coming up on the podcast as well. If you have an episode idea you'd like us to check out or research and highlight on the podcast, Love and Lebanon at lebanon.in.gov. And then finally, coming up on Saturday, August 19th, an over 21 event. It's Oktoberfest. Oktoberfest is back in downtown Lebanon. This is a fundraiser for the Heart of Lebanon organization. Volunteers are still being accepted and very much needed. You can go over to the Heart of Lebanon Facebook page or their website for more details. There are some incentivizing methods there for volunteers to take advantage of that chance to give back to their community and a chance to see a really good band again. Der Polecats is back again downtown Lebanon, again coming up on Saturday, August 19th, Oktoberfest. It is an over 21 event, but it is a lot of fun. Great beer, great food, great fun as well.
Thank you, Joe. Any questions for Joe from the board? Or the public? Thank you, sir. All right, that concludes department head reports. Move on to old business. There's nothing on my agenda. There's anything from the board? Okay. New business then. Next item up will be item C, street closure request for Harney Drive for Myron Agent. Kevin?
Thank you. If I could share my screen here. As many people know, there is a lot of work going on in the Lebanon Community School Corporation this summer, and probably for the next couple of years. Mike Luce with Myron Agent is also at the front row here, so he'll be happy to, I'm sure, answer any questions you might have. This is a street closure request that we are recommending approval on. This is for a closure of Harney Drive from just north of Camp Street to the first entrance of Harney School. And this is really being done so that they can widen that road to expand the parent drop-off area. And really what this will do, because this will cut off the pedestrian access, the primary reason for this is to close the road so that they can offer the existing road as the pedestrian area behind some temporary fence panels. That's how the kids will walk to school, and that will then eliminate the need for us mingling construction traffic, drop-off traffic, and the kids walking to school. And so kids will be able to walk up that west side protected by fencing while the east side is under construction, and then the parent drop-off will be switched to the north. That's how parents will come in. So again, Camp Street remains open at all time. This is really just being done for safety concerns to make sure that we can get the kids safely to school. Mike, did I want to add anything else?
Ballpark, how long on the closure?
3 weeks.
3 weeks, okay.
3 weeks.
So it's a full,
Full closure for 3 weeks.
Okay. Questions on that from the board? Should be an improvement once it's done.
Yes.
Okay. With that then, I would entertain a motion then to approve the Harney Drive closure request for construction around the Harney Elementary.
I'll make a motion, we approve the Harney Elementary street closure request.
We have motions, there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That is approved. Thank you, Kevin. Next will be a street closure request for County Road 375 North for the LEAP project.
Thank you. I'll share my screen again here. I mentioned this in my report, but as you look there on the screen, you can see where this is the area where Eli Lilly is currently under construction. The bold purple line is the new city limits associated with prior annexations associated with the LEAP district. And as part of the LEAP district, they will be improving adjacent rights-of-way going in and out of this area. And so this is part of those prior approvals and prior MOUs that were put in place between the IEDC and the city for these improvements. So this is formally just to allow them the ability to close 450 North, about 2,645 feet on the north edge of the project, and then 375 North, about 2,730 feet on the south end of the Lilly project for those reconstructions. So again, we're recommending approval of these road reconstructions. This is roughly a 10-month construction that will happen. Sometime they will get started in the next couple weeks. Tentatively, they're scheduled to start Witt Road North, and there'll be construction ongoing for quite some time in this area. But there would be about a 10-month closure once these phases of the project start.
Questions on that from the board?
You want to put these both together?
I think that's
375
fine.
and 450? Okay.
Yeah, we can do it together. So we entertain a motion then to approve the closure requests for reconstruction of County Road 375 North as well as County Road 450 North for the sections that are within the city limits of Lebanon.
I make a motion, we approve the request for Leap Road construction for County Road 375 North and County Road 450
We have motions, there a second?
Second.
Second from Dick. All fair say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Those are approved. Thank you, Kevin. All right, next will be page 2 of all of your requests here, Kevin.
Yeah.
Closeout change order for Witt Road Bridge, change order number 3.
These are always my favorite change orders, these closeout change orders as we get to the end of the project, especially because these are usually big negative numbers. So we have 2 tonight. Change order number 3 is for the bridge construction associated with the Witt Road Bridge reconstruction project. The contracts were broken into bridge and road contracts, that's why there's two. So change order 3 is for negative $128,783.64. This is for HIS construction, again, negative 128,783.64.
Any questions on that from the board? Okay, would entertain a motion then to approve the Witt Road Bridge change order number 3.
I'd make a motion to approve the Witt Road Bridge change order number 3.
Motion approved, is there a second?
Second.
Second from Judge. All fair say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That is approved. Change order number 5.
And yes, this is a similar thing. This is a negative change order for HIS constructors for negative $84,510.00. Again, change order number 5, negative 84,510.00 to close out this contract.
Okay, Kevin? Now, do we have to return half this to NDOT, right, for crossings?
Well, it's more complicated than just half. It has to do with, we had to spend twice the original award. Off the top of my head, I want to say, when you do all the math, it works out to, we have to return $26,000 and some change to NDOT, which I believe is in this claim cycle, if you review the claims.
Okay. Any questions on that change order number 5? Okay, entertain a motion to approve.
I make a motion we approve change order number 5 for Witt Road.
Motion approved, is there a second?
Second.
Second from Judge. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, that is approved. Thank you, Kevin. Give a quick break here.
Sure.
Next will be standard operating guidelines for the Lebanon Fire Department. Chief Batts, proposed amendment for this.
What you have before you is an addition to our standard operating guidelines referencing rank and promotion deferrals. It's something we never thought we would deal with, but guess what? We are. So last year, we had a rank deferral. We didn't have anything in our SOGs, so I established an executive order that reads very similar to this. So we felt like it was time to get it in our standard operating guidelines. Can I entertain any questions about this?
So, just to clarify for me, on the removal of the active promotion list, so on the third deferral, right, will result in a removal from the active promotion list. Now, so if they qualify, are they essentially almost always tested for promotion, and if they choose not to be? Is that kind of how this?
So we test for promotion, whether it be lieutenant, captain, or battalion chief, and then we establish a list that will remain active for 2 years. In this particular case, the number 1 candidate decided to defer and let the number 2 candidate go around him.
Okay.
We didn't have policy set in place, so do they go to the bottom of the list? Do they go to number 2? So the way I set up the executive order is they would go to number 2, then if they deferred again, they would be taken to the bottom of the list, but if they defer for a third time, they'd just be removed from the list totally.
Okay.
It wouldn't be in consideration for that promotion process within that 2-year period.
So they can't just kind of heap, hey, I tested for this, and I'm the next on the list, and just
keep going.
keep at the,
Right.
okay, I got you. Okay. Does that make sense for everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's good to find a new situation comes up, I guess. So, is this just, do we have a name for this amendment here? I guess not. I guess I would entertain a motion then to approve the amendment to the standard operating guidelines for the Lebanon Fire Department concerning the promotion or rank deferral.
I'll make a motion to approve the amendment to the standing operation guidelines to the Lebanon Fire Department.
Okay. Motion approved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Bill. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? It's approved. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you. And I just want to say this wasn't a negative situation at all that we were dealing with. This was individual, had some personal events going on in his life. He just didn't feel like it was the right time to accept his promotion. So it wasn't anything negative at all.
Yep. Okay. Makes sense. Thank you, Chief. All right, next will be approval of Lebanon secondary plat and right-of-way acceptance for Lily for Ben.
Thank you, Mayor. This is a pretty quick one. The 600-acre property for Lilly on the north side of town, they are essentially assembling all those parcels that were part of that overall 600 acres and essentially subdividing into 3 lots. There is a Lot 1A and 1B, which are divided by the railroad tracks. Most of that's obviously west of the railroad tracks, and that's part of LP1, the LP1 site, the larger site, and then Lot 2, which is the southern corner of that piece, is for the LP2 project. So this will just be acceptance or approval of the secondary plat, and then acceptance of right-of-way, and they are in fact dedicating some right-of-way on 375 North and 450 North. That's part of this secondary plat. So that's what we've got for you tonight.
Any questions on that from the board? Okay. Would then entertain a motion to approve the approve the secondary plat and accept the related rights of way from Eli Lilly.
I'll make a motion to approve the secondary plat and the acceptance of right-of-way from the Lilly property.
Okay. We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alan. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That is approved. Thank you, Ben. All right, Kevin, you're back up. We got a drink of water if you're ready to go again. Next will be a bid award for the Lebanon Municipal Building renovations.
Thank you very much. So at the last meeting, we opened bid packages for essentially second floor renovations and furniture purchases, 2 separate bid packages, one for the renovation and one for furniture. And so tonight, we are here to make a recommendation to award. First off, on the construction package, we received 2 bids, one from TD Construction, one from Cunningham Construction Group. After review of the TD Construction bid package from internally with staff, with Ben, and from our consultants at Browning Day, that package was found to be responsible and responsive. The bidder was found to be responsible and responsive, and was the low bidder at $128,744.00. That's $128,744. And we are making a recommendation that a notice of award be issued to TD Construction and authorize the mayor to execute contracts as needed for that project.
And just to clarify, that was TD as in touchdown?
TD as in touchdown.
Okay, very good.
Thomas David.
Okay. Any questions on that from the board? Okay. We'll entertain a motion then to award the bid to TD Construction for the Lebanon Municipal Building renovations construction, and authorizing the mayor to sign on this board's behalf and issue a notice, not issue notice to proceed, or just issue
If that's appropriate, authorizing the execution of contracts and the issuance of notice to proceed, that will speed things up, not have to come back.
We also need subject to funding.
Subject to funding, which is later in the evening's agenda for city council.
Fair enough, thank you.
Thank you.
So, with all those caveats, anyone make that motion?
I'll make the motion, we approve the bid for TD Construction for the office on the second floor, subject to funding approval by the council later. And also, does it need legal review contract?
Yes.
Legal review, and authorize the mayor to sign as soon as review is completed.
Yeah. We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Bill. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, that is approved. Thank you, Kevin.
All right, very similar. This is the furniture package. Again, we had 2 bids that were opened at the last meeting, and after review of those with the planning department staff as well as our consultants at Browning Day, we would recommend that a notice of award be issued to RJE. That's Richard Johnson Every. If you needed that. and that is for $52,849.99. Again, RJE was determined to be the lowest, most responsive and responsible contractor bidding on this package, and we would recommend a notice of award be issued, subject to legal review, subject to funding, and authorizing the mayor to execute contracts on behalf of the city and issue notices to proceed when appropriate, based on those caveats.
Questions on that from the board? Okay, would entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the request for the furniture bid as presented.
Okay. Motion to approve, is there a second?
Second.
Second from Judge. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is approved. Thank you, Kevin. And last but not least, bid authorization for Stony Eater Bike Park parking lot improvements.
Thank you. I mentioned this in my report, that we are going to take a small, I guess, turn in our direction on Stone Eater and not issue an RFP, or we're requesting that we not issue the prior approved RFP for a construction manager as constructor, which is a particular statute of project delivery available to us, and ask for authorization to issue bid packages under a more traditional bid build package managed by the city without the need for a construction manager. A little bit off script here, the agenda says parking lot improvements, but I would like authorization to issue bid packages for parking lot improvements and trail improvements.
So Tom's asking if we've approved someone to do this yet. We didn't. We just issued to seek an RFP for construction management services, correct? Not for, but we're kind of pulling that back in-house.
We did not issue that RFP. There was an approval by this body to issue that RFP, and that was subject to park board approval. The park board had given us an approval subject to in IDEM approvals on our adaptive reuse plan. We just got our adaptive reuse plan approved on July 21st, and as I mentioned before, with the hiring of a new project manager in the department, we feel as though we have the staff abilities to manage this project.
I just wanted to make
Yeah.
sure I didn't need to go backwards.
Right, no, that RFP never hit the street, so it was only in draft form and never left our office. And so this would be two standard bid packages with specifications and construction documents. The trail package is a little unique because there will be a pre-qualifying exercise that we will go through before we open bids based on pre-qualified contractors, because there's such a specialty nature to the construction. But it will run as a standard bid package.
Okay. Any questions on that from the board? Okay, then I would entertain a motion to authorize Kevin to seek bids for parking lot improvements and trail construction for Stone Eater Bike Park.
I'll make the motion that we are approved to allow Kevin to, or authorize Kevin to issue a proposal for the parking lot and trail improvements at Stone Eater Bike Park.
Okay. Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second from Bill. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, that is approved. All right, Kevin, got anything else?
I will stop there.
Oh, we'll stop there. Good enough for tonight. Okay. That concludes what I have for new business. Is there anything from the board? Okay. Any announcements or discussion from the board? Okay. Claims. Entertain a motion concerning the claims.
I make a motion, we approve the claims.
Motion to approve the claims. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Judge. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Claims are approved. Would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alan. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, our next Board of Works meeting will be Monday, August 28th at 6:15 PM. We are adjourned.
All right. Well, that went quicker than I thought it was going to.
Yeah.
Never doubt.